All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Oceania 4Key World Cup round of 32. We've had, I believe, 6 or 7 matches already in this group stage, and we've seen a lot of really close matches. But upcoming, we will be seeing Canada versus Australia, the 9th seed versus the 24th seed. And I will be commentator number 1. I am Toph Daddy, and I am joined by Orca, who is having his World Cup commentary debut. How you doing tonight?
Yo, I'm doing all right. Thanks for introducing me so kindly.
Yeah, of course. But we've got a really interesting match. Australia coming out with some pretty strong scores during qualifiers, particularly on the rice, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And Team Canada being a lot more well-rounded than they have shown in previous years. I think they've generally shown quite a bit of LN deficiency over the years, and I think that's been remedied a little bit, as you could probably tell by their number 9 seed. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they fare with that after the qualifier results. And not to mention that their SV qualifier scores were extremely strong. I think they got number 3 overall.
They were definitely very strong. And yeah, the LN, touching on Australia first, actually, this is probably one of the strongest Australia teams we've seen in NWC. You were saying rice. The rice is always, that's their bread and butter. And a lot of the players, I'm sure some people will recognize. It's really strong rice players.
Right. Lofus is on the wrong side. Oh no.
Come on,
I think Dale is on the wrong side as well. I think he's Australian.
Man.
Lofus is Canadian. Got to switch those up.
But yeah, no, Canada's team, just physicality. They have.
Yeah, if they make it to late game, they're going to be a powerhouse because of some of the players on that team, particularly Piggy being extremely one of the strongest players in the game, which is he's a scary opponent to see.
His accuracy holds so strong too, and those are the players you have to look out for, right? Like people like Lofus and a lot of these Canadian players that have this great physicality. A lot of their accuracies don't hold up, right? But Piggy, we've seen him in other tournaments as well. Like his accuracy can battle pretty much anyone at that top level.
Yeah, and his SVs have also improved immensely. I think he got something like 2nd or 3rd place on the SV chart for qualifiers, which is a lot better than I was expecting, because I didn't know that he had improved his SVs so to the point where he could battle out with people like Kruke. That's
a little strange, right? Because being around the tournament scene, SV's been kind of like on its way out, but there's been a lot of players that have been grinding it. Not sure if it was SVSE, the tournament previous, that kind of trained people up, or people are just getting ready for NWC.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. Yeah. But rolls did happen. I believe Australia rolled a 100.
I saw 100, yeah.
Canada did not roll a 100, so they banned first, and they're banning Harajuku Iyohoi, it looks like, LN2.
LN2, definitely.
And as for Australia, honestly, I could probably see them potentially banning out Tota's Tree, given that their main... Well, maybe I'm wrong about this, but because I don't particularly remember the scores Australia had. I just remember their rice was very strong. Mm-hmm. But I could see LNs or hybrids getting banned out from both teams here.
I could definitely see a hybrid from Australia. And there's definitely... I don't want to bring any bias in, right? But I definitely think Canada has that upper hand on this, and coming in, I have a prediction.
They're the favorites. I think Canada, it's a number 9 seed versus number 24. I think the higher seed, if with that kind of gap, you're always going to see that kind of favoritism as far as skill goes. But as we've seen through this tournament, even some of the lower seeds have been performing extremely well. And there goes Ruins and SV map, which, like I said, Canada got 3rd, which is it's not a surprise to see them get rid of it. And not to mention Ruins is very uncomfortable as a pick, I think. It's definitely more uncomfortable than Disconnect Hyper, even though it requires less memorization, I think.
I would say so, for sure. And we saw Ruins in other tournaments as well. And I mean, the SV really isn't the struggle there, or at least it won't be for 90% of players.
Yeah, there's I think one part that you have to worry about in Disconnected, and if you can get that down, usually it takes like slowing down your scroll speed, because I think there's certain like teleports that are kind of hard to react to without that. But
definitely.
But Ruin's definitely, I think, uncomfortable for many players through this tournament. But I'm interested to see how the picks end up going through this match, because I could see Canada trying to just go for what they're comfortable with, which I think in general is going to to be Rice. I could see them going straight out for Disconnected on their second pick.
They could definitely go for SV, and I was thinking honestly, dabbling in some hybrid, or even taking that last LN pick.
It really depends on what.
Battleground.
Rice is going to be an interesting place for these teams to go. I do know that Australia still does have strong LN players. Ruka comes to mind. And there's the first. No, that's not Canada's pick. That's Australia's pick. That's an interesting choice.
So, I think the reason more than just SB that Australia... I think this is a bad pick for Australia, but...
I would agree that it's not the strongest pick.
The reason it's a bad pick is not even just for the SV, it's that Canada's accuracy alone.
Right.
Disconnected really doesn't have that much. You won't see a lot of like actually hard to memorize SV this early on. It's really just the accuracy, like powerhouses. That
keep your accuracy with like being able to keep your accuracy through SV gimmicks is so important for these early rounds.
Yeah.
And Disconnected Hyper is pretty much exactly that kind of map, because like if you slow down your scroll speed to react to some parts, to the one part that I was mentioning, then most of the rest of the map's going to be in a slow jam, which can be difficult to accuracy if you're not used to it.
For sure.
But that being said, it is particularly common for lower seeds to pick the SVs into the upper seeds, because mainly based on the fact that, you know, when you're a low seed and you feel like your physicality and your accuracy and your long note capabilities are going to be outshined, it's a lot easier for those chokes to come out on SVs, even if the other team showed a really strong performance in, you know, previous rounds on SV, like Canada did in qualifiers.
Yep, and a lot of teams, especially with these higher seeds, Canada being one of the higher seeds, won't really practice the SV a lot of times if they're playing a lower seed, right?
Yeah, potentially. That might be an angle to go for, but I think Canada's too strong of a team this year to give up on SVs so easily.
Definitely.
And even when they were the lower seed, like I remember facing them in 2018 MWC in round of 16, where we had those easier SV picks, and all of Canada was, you know, very strong on those picks. So I don't think we're going to see an unpracticed Canada on this pick.
Yeah,
nice one.
Big nice one to get ready for this. I'm waiting to see who Australia tags in for this. Canada had their lineup ready to go, but
Alternation 4 looks like he's coming in. Alternation was in the lobby. He was just not in the right slot.
Okay.
They're looking for their third now.
Yeah, I'm not crazy familiar with who, you know, the accuracy players really are in Australia. Obviously, Lockie's going to be one that they're going to throw in a lot, just in general for basically everything. We'll see. Yeah, they're taking a second to figure it out.
Is Lucky on the Australian team this year? I don't know if he is.
I believe so. That would kind of be.
I do not believe he is.
Intel situation.
Potentially, Lockie is not on the Australian team, so he will not be coming in.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I guess in his place,
wait, did Lockie name change?
Yeah, that was
Lockie name change. But yeah, he's not on the team, so their accuracy and general physicality is gonna be weakened, as we saw from the qualifiers. Like if Lucky was on the team, I think they would have seeded quite a bit better. Like that's a nice boost to have as someone as physical as that. Okay, we got both of the adrenaline. Oh no, I'm sorry. One's alternation. One's adrenaline. I thought they were the same word.
Yeah, and with that physicality, right, Chalky and Bouncer have been, like, really skill boosting lately, so if having Locky as that third, whatever, for Rice would just make them
their Rice is already
even close to that.
Their Rice is already very strong. So just having that extra boost would be nice. But that being said, we're about to get in. We got all 6 players in Dale 940, Stability, and Piggy against Alteration, Adrenaline, and Vegemite. On Australia's first pick, first of a possible 9 coming out in this match.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have to see how well Australia prepared, because that's really what we're looking at here. We're looking to see if Australia just prepared better than Canada did, because this should be pretty simple to get good accuracy on. But I think if both put the ample amount of time into this pick, Canada should have the advantage.
Yeah, and I was telling people even before, checking these teams out more in depth. But I was kind of predicting maybe a 5-2 for Canada. I really think Australia is strong. Right, and so even getting sent to the losers bracket, I think they really have a chance to take some more matches in this tournament.
They have a lot of potential on their team.
So I definitely think it's not going to be a trivial win here for Canada.
Okay, waiting for Dale.
Big DC.
He didn't DC. I think it's just client being weird.
Or client, yeah.
All right, nice lead for Australia there. Now Vegemite's not showing up.
Dude.
Oh, man. Okay. Everyone's in. I think we're lining it up. We're already a quarter of the way through the chart on Piggy's screen, but
I think the client's getting S-Feed.
It is getting S-Feed. It's true.
Okay. One more reset, maybe. Chalky getting in here. At this point, the players might even be done with the map.
Yeah, the players might. They might be close to the end right now. But let's just wait. We got this. I think we're good now. It just needs to wait to catch up to all the other players.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Caught up to all three. Alternation. Close scores between them, but it does look like Dale has that advantage, just barely. But gonna matter more. I don't know if that's a real miss from. Okay, there's even so. The Vegemite also has a miss on his client side, but the scores. Okay, I think Vegemite's score is definitely wrong right now. It should not be that low.
Stability also, yeah, that's like
wait for it to catch up. Come on, I can't say much about this unless we see what's going on.
Yeah, I don't even know where that miss would lie. Well, I guess Stability has kind of the same thing going on. That might be real.
That being said, okay, there we go. There we go. It's updated now.
Okay, yeah.
The overall accuracy lead was. I was about to say that Canada still has that overall accuracy lead, so they Stability. Oh no, Vegemite immediately too. But that was a bigger miss from Stability, so an accuracy advantage could potentially give Australia a chance to bring this back. But I'm kind of surprised to see Stability missing twice now.
Yeah, that slowdown. Seems like a rush. Definitely we saw it from Vegemite too. It's just maybe not practicing as much.
Yeah, and we're coming up to the end of the chart. Canada still has that advantage, and neither Vegemite nor Stability are going to get that combo cap.
Yeah,
and Canada's going to take that victory off of pretty much the accuracy of Piggy and Dale. 62 300s from Piggy, as I was saying, very strong at SVs.
Yeah, 62, definitely. I mean, foreseeable from this Canada team, right? Like, we called it. I really don't think that was the play for Australia, straight out the gate to ban an SV and then pick an SV. Just kind of, I don't know, strange strategy. Piggy will definitely see a lot of these really good ratio scores.
But that is a nice break point for Canada right out of the gate, and they get their own pick here. And I think they would want to go with one of their more comfortable picks, which would be something in the Rice area. I think Iterated wouldn't be a bad choice here.
Yeah, Iterated. Some of the easier
Axel Grinder,
some of them probably
similar map. So
Axel Grinder. I could see words I never said. Also,
yeah, just straightforward Rice. Don't make things complicated. Get the stuff that you're most comfortable with and move forward. I don't mind that strategy from Canada at all, even if they might actually end up having an advantage on, like a more significant advantage on something like the long note picks or the hybrids.
Yeah, I think they just straight up have that ratio advantage on basically every single Rice pick that's in this pool, just being so early on, and these Canada players being so crazy good at ratioing. Yeah, Piggy's definitely a player that teams are going to have to look out for because he's going to stay consistent with those incredible scores like that 996. We'll definitely be seeing a lot more of him in this tournament.
But yeah, looks like we're just switching out stability here for Lofus of Bread. Makes sense as a switch. Lofus also being a very strong player physically, potentially stronger than Piggy on the rice department. I actually don't know. I don't know.
Physicality wise, I think it's
compare.
pretty close. Yeah. I think Lofus is physically faster.
Yeah,
but Piggy is, in my opinion, the better tournament player.
Right, because he has that SV background, like capability, and potentially the hybrid mania. Yeah. So, but like I said, Canada's a scary team if they get far in this tournament. They got Piggy and Lofus, both of whom are going to give a lot of players in this tournament a run for their money as far as the late game rice goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about making it to that late game rice, right? If you're looking at the bracket, I mean, you can see. I mean, if you're predicting the teams right, you can kind of see who they're most likely going to go up against. But I feel like if Canada gets, a bad team early on, like in that mid game, maybe where their skills aren't transferring as well, gets a team that does have that good, transfer. Maybe the UK.
Right. Though you do have to think, if you look at that bracket, their opponent is one of two different teams. It's either going to be the Philippines. If Canada wins, they're against the Philippines in the round of 16, which is a scary team. I would not be comfortable facing Philippines. If they lose against Australia, they move down to the losers bracket to face Taiwan, which took the Philippines to tiebreaker. Yeah. So it's not the friendliest matchup either one of these two teams is going to have next round, and I would probably be interested to see how these next couple of matches go.
Yeah, Philippines, pretty well-rounded team, I would say. I think running into them round of 16 would be really scary for Canada because they're not hitting that stuff that's really challenging their physicality yet.
Something's going on with Vegemite.
Yeah.
Don't know if he hasn't started playing or if the client's being weird.
Yeah. And I'm sure, I don't know, Australia, Canada, 2 time zones, different times.
It looks like Australia's net is being a bit on the rough side right now. That being said, accuracies are very significantly favoring Canada right now. All 3 of their players are above 99.9%. That's a scary number.
Abort.
Oh, and we aborted.
Yeah, I think Chalky
had some issues.
Client is just pooped, perhaps.
Potentially. But we'll see if we're able to get him into this next run of it.
Hopefully.
And there we go. The MPSR command comes back. Hopefully, Canada's going to be able to maintain that same kind of prowess they were showing in the aborted run.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to put too much of a wrench in
having some issues again.
Still maybe having issues.
Australia's internet really not being friendly right now.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get in here.
Wow. Oh, did he just leave? What? What's going on?
He might have tried to reset.
Yeah, but not really.
Wonder if they know.
I'm sure they do. But if Chalky leaves the lobby, then it won't.
Then it's
they'll be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Piggy and Dale though, Dale's dropping a little bit of accuracy there, but this is just classic Piggy. I mean, that error bar looks so clean there from him. 99.97.
But yeah, Canada's still maintaining a very strong accuracy, and with alternations miss. I don't know, we're only a third of the way through the map. So, a lot could happen in this ending bit, but even if Chalky was playing right now, or we could see their score, then I don't think it would matter all that much. The miss, I think, is enough to already take care of the score gap.
definitely.
like, that Canada has.
Yeah, and Adrenaline's had some 200 drops too, but I'm pretty sure all Canadian players are still maybe on V1SS's. Definitely Piggy.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, Piggy has to be. There's no way he'd be holding that 99.97 without it. Yeah. That being said, the 99.97 is the cutoff for 999,000, which would be an insane score.
Yeah, Piggy putting this map to the Axel Grinder.
Truly.
Big drop there from Adrenaline. Yeah, no problem.
Another drop from Australia. I don't think this would have been possible regardless of what happened.
Yeah, nails in the coffin. I mean, they're just adding up, so Canada definitely though. I mean, it's good to like keep going, especially with Piggy. You know, getting warmed up on this low star stuff. You know, show everyone like what you're capable of. It's nice.
Yeah, we're approaching the end. No misses yet from Canada. No real accuracy breaks.
Yeah, this consistency from the Canadian team is really, really impressive.
Yeah, really insane scores from those 3 Canadian players. And
Piggy might get it. Oh, I think he's like 10 points off.
He's off by 45.
Was it 45?
Just barely, or 35. My bad. Yeah. But that was a difference like between the players of 1,024,000. So even with Chalky there, it would not have mattered. No, it wouldn't have mattered because the max score is 1 million.
True, it can't. Yeah. Yeah, Adrenaline with those drops. I mean, alternation too, but I mean, losing more points than the entire other team combined obviously doesn't fare well for your team on Rise.
Not looking too hot, and at this point, they need to figure out what's going on with Chalky for one.
Yeah, or whoever,
or whoever they're gonna have come in for the match. They need to figure something out because this is not going to work out. But they also need to decide what they're going to pick against Canada because Rice is not looking too hot.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to be picking Rice after that. And I mean, already picking that SB. I doubt they would do anything other than, you know, LN or Hybrid. That's kind of their only choice. Even if they think they're not as strong as Canada, you know, you have to try something different. You can't just go back to what you were losing on. Yeah, I'm wondering if Vegemite purposefully tried to restart, or if it was.
I believe they're saying in chat that they did, that they purposely left because they were trying to do something. But it might have been after the MP start timer, and it doesn't look like there were any messages between the MP start timer that I could see.
Okay, Australia picking 7.
That being said, we're going into our next pick. We're not going to worry about Axel Grinder anymore.
Yeah.
We're gonna move straight on to an LN pick, which I think is fair. They just had a pretty massive loss on Axel Grinder. So moving on to something not so Rice oriented is probably going to fare better for them, or at the very least, it's gonna be different.
It's gonna change it up.
Yeah, it's gonna change up the match. It's gonna take Canada out of their comfort zone, and you know we'll see if that strategy sort of pays off.
Yeah, because I definitely don't believe Australia is a stronger team on this pick, but yeah, I agree. You have to change something. I mean, Axel Grinder obviously is that consistency pick, and Australia might fare better on one of the more techie, you know, Rice picks. But just going straight into Hybrid, I mean, testing the waters. You still have. I mean, Canada still needs 3 more points, so you get this pick, you get another one, even if you're losing all of them. So you try something. You know,
you try to get that LN pick, and if it works out for them, they still have another LN pick open and another Hybrid. But the more important pick there is going to be Toadistry, where that's a lot more LN focused than something like Pandora Paradox, which is heavily Rice favored.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we do have all 3 players, or all 6 players in the lobby this time. Hopefully nothing crazy happens with this one. We'll get a normal looking map for first out of 3. Don't want to jinx it, gotta knock on the wood.
Yeah, no commentator's curse for the
No,
client.
yeah, I'm not going to commentator's curse the client.
Yeah, getting Bounturn, I'm wondering... I mean, I'm not crazy familiar with these players, but I'm wondering if that's just because Vegemite isn't
Okay,
rejoining.
we got all 6 to load in. We got all 6.
Seeing if it's...
Is it going to work from the start?
Properly?
No, okay, all 6 are going. Are we good? Are we good? I think we're good. It's just waiting for it to start now.
Fast track. Ooh,
let's go.
That looks good. That
all
looks
right,
good.
we in there. But starting off on the LN-focused hybrid, we've got Ruka and Bounter subbing in for those other 2 positions that were held by, I believe, Adrenaline and
Adrenaline
and Chalky or Vegemite.
Yeah, Bounter, I believe, is that stronger LN player over Chalky.
And his accuracy is showing at 99.81%, even better than Ruka, who I mentioned earlier with having very strong LN ability. But on the side of Canada, stability comes back in and is even stronger than that right now. So Canada's holding a very noticeable accuracy advantage. I think stability, their lowest. Oh, now Dale's the lowest. And he just dipped under two of the players on Australia. So Bounter is really the big... Oh, and I shouldn't have said his name or their
drop.
Name.
Yeah.
That I always have this problem with commentators cursing. It's just an issue.
This instant, yeah. This Canadian team, we're dropping accuracy as we were talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Closing that gap. Australia's closing the gap a little bit,
right?
With that accuracy drop from Dale, but with that drop, it's
full combos everywhere on Canada. 99.7 being their lowest, which is lower than the other 2 players on Australia. But with that miss, there's going to be a huge score gap between the players unless Canada finds some drops here. I think 2 at this point would be needed because we're so close to the end of the chart.
Yeah, and Piggy's looking a little shaky here too, dropping even more accuracy. I mean, all players are here with this denser section, but it's definitely looking a little scary.
But even then, it looks like Canada. I think even a few misses.
Wow.
Okay, there it is.
Wouldn't have mattered too much.
Very strong performance from Canada on that pick, and that brings them 3-0 with 2 breakpoints already. They just need to win their own pick, and then 1 more breakpoint, and they get out of there. They technically don't even need a breakpoint. They could just win their own picks as of right now.
Which is definitely foreseeable. Yeah, and I mean, for Australia, that's probably a little bit of light in the tunnel there for that pick. It wasn't as one-sided.
Yeah, definitely not.
It was closer, and I feel like they should try that out again.
Yeah, it's with the last, Tota Street. So I think Tota Street is a fair pick for what could potentially be their last pick, depending on how the next 2 picks go.
Definitely.
And Canada goes for Iterated as an immediate response from Axel Grinder, which they're similar charts. One's just faster, and this one is definitely going to be one of those charts that they can really hanker down on the accuracy.
Mm-hmm. Nearly a free point here for Canada. They're staying consistent. These players are veterans, right, of these tourneys. You'll see them everywhere. So, staying consistent with this pressure on them, it seems like they're doing a really good job. So as long as they can keep that up through these next couple points, they should definitely be fine here.
Yeah, that being said, like I said, Australia's Rice has shown to be pretty strong. I believe in particular their stage 8 from the qualifiers was quite strong. So something a little bit more physically demanding like Iterated could potentially see some interesting developments, especially if the 2 players who were in on Axel Grinder don't miss, because that was a big reason that Canada was able to take such a big lead on that, was because of those 2 misses. And if they're able to keep combo, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, and I mean, combo breaks in round of 32 are nearly point sentences.
Yeah. Like 5,000, 6,000 points lost off of 1 miss can be deadly. It can be fatal for single map points.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about those players that can stay consistent. The thing is, you don't want to have those players, that will stay consistent but then fall off later on as much. You want to have people that can stay consistent, because as you get out of these, round of 32, round of 16 map pools, I feel like Canada's going to see. I think both of these teams would see a lot more success later on in the tournament rather than right now.
Yeah, that's kind of like the big thing. You need to make sure that the teams that you're playing or the team that you build from the start is going to be able to get through those early game matches, so that the late game strengths of your players can start shining as you get further on in the tournament. And I think it's going to be around quarters and semifinals that we really start seeing the power that Canada can have.
For sure. Yeah, because I feel like their FC potential is just as strong, right, in those semifinals as now.
Yeah, and not to say that their early game is bad. They're clearly showing that they can handle these early rounds. Their lowest on Axel Grinder, their lowest accuracy on Axel Grinder was something like 99.87, and that's ridiculous. But moving into this fourth pick out of a possible 9, accuracy is looking very strong across the board. Much better on the side of Australia than we saw on Axel Grinder. Chalky being the lowest currently on Australia, but still at that 99.8%, showing a very strong ability to play maps like this. One miss, this is the kind of situation where one miss is going to be extremely important. If that miss is on Canada's side, I think this point might just go to Australia point blank, as long as they're able to keep combo.
Definitely. I feel like with this low scroll speed that Chalky's playing on right, I feel like these patterns are so easily like misreadable. So I think Chalky's definitely a player to look out for that's going to miss, but Bouncer dropping a ton of back there, actually. I wasn't even paying attention. I wondered how many 200s that was.
Yeah, that was a bit of a significant drop, and Chalky actually finding a few accuracy drops as well, dropping down to that 99.7. I think there was a 200 right in that break, too, which is very unfortunate. But alternation, 99.94%.
Holding lobby.
Yeah, higher than all 3 on Canada. That's going to be big, especially with this ending stream coming up and more opportunities to choke combo. That said, the lead is a little more significant than it was in the first stream, so it's going to have to happen early on and make sure that that full 400 combo bonus is lost on one of the players on Canada.
Yeah, Canada player has to miss like right now for Australia to take that back. Alternation holding strong.
Ooh,
oh my!
There's it's your first ever commentator's curse. You did it. You are an official World Cup commentator. Congratulations,
man. That's rough. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered too much.
But yeah, Canada being very consistent. 3 FCs, assuming 3 near double S's, if not.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, 1 and 2 200s. But 64 300s. I think that's like a mid 998 if he doesn't get those 2 200s.
Wow. That's getting a 99.92
also,
grades.
Alternation, 116 300s. Just that one miss being the issue. I think alternation probably would have been the
highest score.
Yeah, I think he would have had the highest score.
Most likely.
Chalky and Bouncer both putting up very solid scores, 987 apiece, but that's just not going to be enough against a 995, a 996, and a 997.
Definitely. Yeah, match point here for Canada. Oh, and Bouncer saying in chat, actually, yeah, I didn't remind chat, it is Bouncer's birthday.
Ah,
Happy
nice.
birthday, Bouncer.
Happy birthday, Bouncer. Big sing. Well, also, we're kind of bad at LN1. Is this the secret? Are they giving up a point? Are they trying? Is this reverse psychology?
Yeah. Well, I don't see why Australia wouldn't pick LN1. At least in my opinion. We were even saying it earlier. Definitely, Australia wants to test out that LN more. I mean, in match point, it can't hurt. Right?
Yeah, just throw a. This is the point where Australia needs to throw a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, they might just be giving away a point.
For sure. Yeah, I think this is probably the least close match we've had. I know we've had a lot of like 5-3s. And that tiebreaker.
There was a 5-0. There was one 5-0 aside from. But potentially this match, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Can't call it.
It's still 4-0. Australia has plenty of opportunities to take points. I think the rest of the picks are actually a lot harder to keep combo on as well, which could potentially give Australia a lot of opportunity to take points.
Yeah.
Diamanche is very easy to choke. Words I Never Said is a lot harder than it looks off of a baseline. Destroy is like it looks, again, it's another one that's like, it looks straightforward, but
it's rough.
It's rough. Toda Street and LN pick, we haven't really seen pure LN yet, so this could be promising for the side of Australia. And Gaspard is very long, very consistency based, hard to keep accuracy on. Plenty of places for Canada to, make mistakes and give Australia the points they need to come back.
Yeah, and the scariest thing about this is, right, as Australia, you have nothing to lose. You're down 4-0. Canada is on this, like, huge momentum ride. So Australia just needs to, if they want this point, they have to earn it. Because Canada's just going to be playing like they normally play. There's no pressure on them, right? They have so many more chances for this last match point, so...
Oh, and a new player coming in for Canada, Nuno Taba Shinobu coming in for Todastream, likely one of their LN players that they added onto the roster this year, because I believe this is their first MWC.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would guess, if I didn't know the player, which I don't know Shinobu, I would guess they're probably a more LN-focused player, just to balance that Canadian team out. I think this is Australia's typical LN lineup as well. I mean, Bouncer was playing well on the hybrid, just...
Yeah, I think,
drop.
Adrenaline would potentially be better at just straight LN density and the reading side of things.
Yeah, staying more consistent in that tournament setting.
Is this not new? I'm reading it might not be Nuno Taba Shinobu's first MWC. I have no idea, actually. I just didn't recognize the name. I have no idea.
Yeah, and Canada this year is making a lot more waves than they were last year, too, so I'm sure...
I guess I've been proven wrong. Someone else also agrees that it's not...
Their second year.
It's their second year, not their first. But still...
2019 MWC.
Wow, a gap year.
Yeah. A gap year, yeah.
But 2019 was an unfortunate year for Canada because they got knocked out in group stage.
Yeah.
So they didn't get to really show off a whole lot of their ability. So
yeah,
this year they got through. Yeah, they got through qualifiers. They're guaranteed at least one more match after this, and it looked. I don't know if that was a real miss from.
I doubt it.
Nuno Taba.
You get them a.
It looked like lag, yeah. But if it wasn't, okay, never mind. There goes reset. That being said, accuracies are very close between the two teams. Stability actually dropping quite a bit of accuracy, down to the 99.55. All of Australia ahead of them, but Nuna, I'm going to call them Shinobu. I'm going to call them Shinobu.
That's what I
Shinobu and Piggy are both ahead of everyone on Australia. So that accuracy lead should stay in Canada's favor. And now stability has actually increased his accuracy to above all of Australia as well.
Yeah, and watching the hybrid pick last time, I was actually a little bit scared for Piggy. He looked a little shaky during one of the denser sections. So
we'll have to see if the more dense section later on is going to cause some trouble. Because there are some tricky patterns in that ending. Even though I would consider it harder to get good accuracy on this opening, and at the very end, the chorus can be very difficult to read through.
Yeah, Ruka with that drop right in the middle. That's
not the best spot. Yeah. Going to be building back up to that 400. Yeah.
For sure.
But with that being the case, it's about 30,000 points of difference between the two teams. Maybe a little bit less, but with 3 full combos on the side of Canada, Australia's gonna need a miss or two. Probably more than one.
Probably more. They need like a big column lock or something.
Yeah, and they've gotten past the main difficult part. Well, I guess we're still in the density area, but we're gonna get to a repeat of that intro section, and I don't think they're gonna drop combo on this. It's a lot harder to get column locks on stuff like this. Last couple of notes, no problems. Shinobu getting the MVP slot for their first time being thrown into a map for at least the bracket stage.
Yeah, great showing, Shinobu there.
Yeah, solid team score from Canada, triple full combo. Definitely a bit noticeably stronger than their LN play has been over the years. So this is going to be a really interesting thing to see out of Canada, see if they can, carry that LN ability forward and potentially use it to beat, teams they otherwise wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, Canada's LN I know has been a problem in the past. Like they've been kind of an unbalanced team towards that Rice, but
right.
I mean, just seeing this early game LN, I'm sure we'll still have to watch them for the next couple of rounds, but yeah, they seem a lot more balanced. I mean, Piggy, super great ratio normally, and it carries over a bit to Ellen just with that, that PA, the great ratio.
Yeah.
It's a little rough.
And with that does make Canada the winner of this match. 5-0. Australia moving down to the losers bracket. They are not out of the tournament yet. They've just moved down to the losers bracket to face Taiwan, as I mentioned earlier on in the match. And that's another tough opponent. I'm so sorry. Scary. I'm so sorry, Australia. It's a scary team to be up against. They're quite close in seeding, though. That's going to be the number 23 or 24 versus 25, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's two adjacent seeds. So depending on how hard this next pool is, we could see something really interesting come out of that match. But that also being the case, Canada moves on to face Philippines, a very scary team. I wouldn't want to face Philippines.
I think Canada definitely. I mean, after seeing this, we obviously have to see the pool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good match.
Yeah,
9 seed versus 8 seed,
for sure. Wow.
Canada having a very strong showing today. Philippines having quite a strong opening themselves to the tournament. Some minor issues, but Taiwan's a very strong team. Nothing to really be ashamed of in that situation. So I am excited to see Canada versus Philippines next week.
For sure. That's definitely one to look out for.
But yeah, that's going to be the only match for this time slot. We're not going to be continuing streaming, as you might be able to see from the schedule. Next one that we are going to be having on stream is going to be Vietnam versus Finland. The number 5 seed versus the 29th seed.
Vietnam is so stacked this year.
Yeah, Vietnam is really good, especially on the early stages with people like Azrieli on the team.
Lottery, too.
Yeah, there's so many strong players on this team. And number 5 seed, I think, was a surprise to a lot of people. So, them getting that stamp, Finland's going to have a match on their hands. They're going to have to really perform on this match coming up in 8 hours. But with that should be the end of this stream. Do you have anything else to say?
Not much. Great for Australia to come here, give it their all against such an amazing team Canada has here. I was expecting a lot from Canada, but they blew my expectations out of the water. Taking those hybrids in that LN pretty convincingly, and then being good on Rice just like as normal. Canada Rice team.
Right. Very all-rounded team. Much more all-rounded than they used to be. It's going to be really fun to watch them through this tournament.
Absolutely incredible, yeah.
But with that, we are going to close the stream. We'll see you all again in 8 hours for Vietnam versus Finland.
Yep, you guys better show up. I'll see ya.